Okay, so I don't have a lot of time, so I feel like I'm gonna go rapid fire. So I did mention this before, but there were two books I was interested in reading on one of those apps that I had problem deleting. I did eventually read it, but I was like really frustrated, and I was like, I decided, you know what, give it a try. I was really, really interested again in these two stories, and I kind of regret it, but I should talk about more of those stories. But I'm gonna talk about in the media blog, not in this one. And then I also decided to try the wash and go set. I finally bought one because I always wanted to do my hair in the wash and go. Finally bought the curl mix set, and it did not come out how I expected to or wanted it to. It came out more frizzy than anything, and I don't know if because I didn't follow instructions exactly. Like you were supposed to do the whole thing in the shower. I was like, I did not do that, and I also didn't use a blow dryer. I also think the problem was I didn't use enough moisturizer because it felt kind of dry. So I used some my moisturizer, and I next time I also plan to use more gel. So I do plan to use this again and try it again. At this time, I wanted to play catch up because I was behind a lot of work. But the thing is, my family wanted to go watch a movie, which was happening at 10 a.m. And the thing about that, I don't mind. It's just that I had to wake up early the next morning, so I only had enough time to go take a nap. So it was like a rush to get as much work done as possible. So that was the issue. I did enjoy the movie though, so it was great. The only thing that the chair hurt in my back, and there were times when the chair, which by weight I should say that the movie we went to see was a 4D and was one of the Jurassic Park movies, the most recent one that came out of this time around 2025. So it was fun. Definitely, I did enjoy the movie. The one thing, the well, one, the chair hurt my back after a while. Two, it moved so often that I had like adjust myself because I keep sliding down. I was like, dang, I need a seat before this. I wasn't expecting that. The first time it jolted me was when it was even watching the movie. It was what trailer. It happened during a trailer. It was during the Ares, the Tron Ares movies trailer. That movie, I was like shocked. I was expecting that. Like even the guy next to me was expecting, and he had it there, and it almost spilled. Like thank God it didn't spill on me.
Yeah,
But
innocent people are
speaking of that
dying, and
guy,
for what?
he
Because
was
y'all wear
going
button
doing
heads?
his own little movie commentary, making comments on the movies, and I was like, I didn't mind. I didn't mind as much because it wasn't like through the whole movie. It was like once in a while. But at one point, I ended up even saying out loud my own commentary, and he responded. I was expecting that, so it was really fun, interesting, um, fun. Experience. There you go. It was a fun experience. So at this point, I also wanted to work on one of my. I still have one of my other tablets. This was one the Huion, the cheapest one of the bunch. And this is the first time that this tablet went all the way to zero and it wouldn't turn on. So I had to take time to charge it. Spoilers for later. I had to get rid of that one too, but I digress. But yeah, it was also zero, so I couldn't do a lot of projects I want to work on. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a step from doing the tarot cards. I'm gonna work on something else. I was gonna work on Dragon Kid, but again, that one I already put on the back burner because of world building issues. So I decided not to work on a script. So I decided to work on daggers and runes, and then I also decided to redo the whole canvas, rework Canva size for my journal, sketchbook journal, world building journal thingy. Back. I went to eat like lunch, dinner anyway. Back, ready to finish record, and so I put a long entry in this part. But in basically, I started doing driver against my driver license, and I started doing lessons. And my sisters, my two younger sisters, already have their license, so they're good. It's just me, and the problem is practicing. But I also had to get like a 5 hour class. I did that, and then I learned that I have an hour, not hour, I'm sorry, more than an hour, a year to get my driver license, and I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And again, I don't put that much effort and time because I need someone who also have the time to drive with me, and we haven't done that. And the only one I have now, like my sister had my dad, I only have my mom. But yeah, that's on me. Taking this forever to get it, but anyway, that other than that, while taking the firework class, the biggest struggle was not falling asleep, and I didn't know when we were going to have a break, and I was like so hungry too, so I was like falling asleep hungry. It was and but the only good thing was that I didn't have to go into like a class. I was able to do it online, and the only other thing was that I had to again. After that, I went to the walk to go to the library, and while there, I was able to see. I was happy to find my book that I put on hold. I did a little dance, a little squeak. Anyway, so at this point, I want to also wash my hair, but on top of my projects, I didn't have the time. I was able to start doing the painting process for, well, technically the swatches for the painting for one of the tarot cards. Um, Spoilers, that's still not done. And I was into work on ink drawing. Again, spoilers, still not done. But I did work on them, so proof. Granted, I didn't finish it, but I do plan to finish it. Still here in my closet, still in my wardrobe. So I am going to finish it eventually. And then on top of that, was considering getting real experience for my stories. Like I thinking of camping, but me knowing me, I'm not gonna go camping. But it was an idea, an aspiration that maybe I should get some kind of experience. I also didn't get to wash my hair. That I had to do it in the following week. So okay, so another thing. Also going back to the whole the app thing. So this thing went on for a while. So while I was doing my app, I had to cancel the whole phone because it would keep taking swiping money off of it. So I was like, just cancel the whole card, not the phone, just cancel the whole card, and replace it. The thing is that at that time I was also using my card on my phone to pay for the MTA fare because they changed the fares and it's so stupid. I hate it. I'm like, okay, cancel it, but I was still able to get through. Thank God for the day. After panicking, I walked around for 14 minutes. I lost my head, but I digress. But I know I was able to get that done and through. And the thing about that card is like when they charge you, the first charge it was like low, so you think it's gonna continue to be late. No, but after the first week, they have a huge upcharge. I'm like, what the who's paying all this for this app? Which stories was lackluster. It's not like there's the greatest stories in the world on this app. So it was frustrating and angry, and I'm like, I didn't want it. Anyway, moving on. So for a less dramatic kind of situation, I was thinking of what to do with Mad Cow and Daggers and Runes. So I was considering making color pages for them. I did on my, I forgot what it's called, Gumroad. I did make some for the Gumroad. It's there, it's free. Anyone could download it and color it if they want to, or revamp it if they want to. Okay, so also, I like whenever I do like dictation, the way they spell my character name Mad Cow is Mad Cow or My Cow, but it's interesting. But anyway, that's about it. And then I made a mistake on the days, so I had more time to draw because I was planning when to wash my hair. But that's about it. So it was around here. It was like Wednesday, and I wrote. So think about writing notes on with using dictation. That tends to repeat what I'm saying, and so it looks really long, and it makes no sense. Sometimes spellings are really off, maybe because the way I pronounce some things are off. Which, yeah, but still. Anyway, what I think I was trying to say was that I wanted to work on my illustrations. I was supposed to also study Japanese, but I decided to put off until later because I wanted to use as much sunlight, especially since I'm working on a painting. So I want to use as much sunlight as possible while working on my paintings, and then the following day, and then work later the day work on studying Japanese. Well, there's that. And then my mother want me to finish shuffling through my father's clothes because it's gonna go to the donation. So she said, take what you want, if it's like a memento or whatever. I did took some of my father's clothing, and I don't keep it just as a memento. I do wear them either as a nightgown in the house, and some of them I actually wear outside. But yeah, the rest of them is gonna go for donations, and I don't want to take too much. And there's not much I want to keep as a memento. So yeah. Okay. Oh, so now I figure out what I was talking about in the last one. So I finished. Well, first of all, I want to say that I finally finished cleaning up my room like my mother was wanting. I organized it, and the reason why I was able to organize it because my mother gave me the bin, and in the bin I automatically vote in checking or looking at the crates and the comic books. I also knew there was papers, a lot of papers. Some I didn't shuffle through all of them, but I just put them in there. And what I also found was my poetry book that I didn't even know I had. I had a poetry book. I found the pink dress that I made. It doesn't fit anymore, so I had to say goodbye to that. But I also the jacket and skirt that I also made for another cosplay. That still fits me, so I keep that. It's in my closet right now. And it was like, okay. But and the thing about that, my other skirt too. So I had like two skirts that I made. And the thing about my days when I was first doing, I still probably have most likely have this problem is that it's always short in the back and long front. I don't know why and how to mediate that problem. I tried to cut it shorter in the back where it's supposed to be the back, but it doesn't make a difference. I can't even tell. That was frustrating. Anyway, I almost figured it out, but not really. Um, Oh, so what was I was trying to figure out the last time was talking about was I found this site on Instagram because I wanted to redo my website because I wasn't proud of it. I didn't like it how it looked before because it was just a template, and I didn't figure out how that you could actually change it. So I found a way like use an app to give me inspiration how I want to change my website. So I use that as a jumping point, and but I also want to use my own motif, my little character. So I did change and updated it, and was looking at for like inspirations, for, especially when it comes to like color palette, which would be the best color palette for me. And so I found the website. I put in the prompt what I wanted, an idea, and it gave me an idea of how like different several ideas. And I took one that really stuck out to me. I was like, oh, I like this. This is exactly how well, mostly exactly how I wanted, except for my characters. And so I'm gonna use that as inspiration and to remake my own website. So once again, I'm in this part where I'm always falling behind, but instead of like stressing about it, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let it go because I know I'm not gonna catch up, and trying to catch up makes me frustrated and stressed. So I wasn't like, I'm just like, let it go. And that's because on Friday, what was I doing Friday? I took an extra shift, and then the following day, Saturday, my sister planned this whole game day, and so which was fine, it was really fun. I had enjoyed my time, but went really late, and I went to bed late, and then the following day I had a driving lesson, not driving test, a driving lesson. So I didn't get much done. So I woke up late too. So I didn't even get anything done. So I woke up, got to my driving lessons, and then I almost forgot that my cousin planned a dinner to meet up, have dinner. The only thing that was disappointing is that I wanted the bus up roti, but they ran out of bus up or didn't have any more prepared yet. So didn't get that. But yeah, so I didn't even get to even do that. And then I had to go to bed early to wake up the next morning, and my boss decided to switch up the schedule last minute because the summer is getting hotter, so she wanted switch up the schedule. So on top of that, I still had some problems and issues with work. So there's the continued schedule change. But on top of my hair, I learned with the wash and go that with my type of hair, I have to constantly moisturize it. So I definitely have like high or low porosity because I continuously have to moisturize it to keep it like wet it, put moisturizer in. It would have been helpful to put gel in. I didn't, but yeah, you have to constantly put it to help keep the style. You learn something new every day. So we're wrapping up to the end of July, and there wasn't, despite the many changes in my work schedule, eventually there wasn't that much changes in my creative schedule. Just calling that, just fitting it out. But yeah, so I was able to get some work done on that area. The only thing that was stopping me technically wasn't even my work. It was actually my tablet pen. This was still, I had the Huey on, and then I was looking up to see if I could find a replacement, and I looked it up why it wasn't charging, because no matter how long I left it charge, it wasn't charging. So this pen charge, you have to charge this pen. Unlike my other tablets where the pen works along with the tablet, you don't have to charge it or anything, put batteries, nothing, it just works. But this one is like, no, I have to charge it separately along with the tablet. And it turns out that tablet, so the pen wasn't charging at all. So I looked up, and I saw on the website that there was a pen for the iOS, the Slate or so, or something like that. It didn't say like match with my tablet. Later on it did. It changed to some but whatever. I wasn't sure that it was for this tablet, but I bought it anyway just in case. I was tempted to buy two. I didn't, thank God. But I did buy the one, and it worked. I was hoping it did, and it does work. So there's that. So, and I think that's it for July. Until next time for August. Bye. Okay, I want to show you one quick thing of Mister. You gonna turn around? There you go. Hi, boo boo. Okay, that's it. Oh, I forgot to mention. What one thing I was able to do without my tablet was we work on my plotting wall, so I did that. That's the only thing I was able to do, and I just did that.